Okay, good afternoon, students. We'll begin with a new topic called chemical reactions. Chemical reactions. New topic, chemical reactions. तो थोड़ा इसे थिक नहीं कर सकते।
होएगा इसका वो क्या
Just move, student.
देखता है। अच्छा इसके लिए है क्या बेसिक अभी बहुत पैसे लगेंगे।
Okay. Okay, students will begin with a new topic called chemical reactions. Now, what is chemical reaction? Chemical reactions. Okay, now what is reaction? Reaction, it is a process in which reactants are converted into product. For example, C plus O2 gives CO2. So carbon and oxygen, they acts as what? Reactant. And CO2 acts as what? Product. Right? And this process of conversion of a reactant into product, that is called a chemical reaction. What it is called? Chemical reaction. Is it audible, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, what is chemical reaction? Chemical reaction is a process in which reactants combine with each other and they gives a product. So, this process of conversion of reactant into product, that is called a chemical reaction. That is called a chemical reaction. Right. Now, chemical reaction involves writing a chemical equation. Writing a chemical equation. So, what is reaction? Process in which reactants are converted into product. That is called what? Reaction. That is called what? Reaction. Right? Now, chemical reaction involve writing a chemical equation. Chemical equation. What is chemical equation? Chemical equation, basically, it is a representation of a chemical reaction using symbols and formulas of the compound. Using symbols and formulas of the compound. Using symbols and formulas of the compounds. So, chemical equation is the representation of chemical reaction using symbols and formula of elements and compounds respectively. Elements and compounds respectively. Okay. So that is called chemical equation. Right. Not a reactant. Reactant. Starting material used in any chemical reaction, they are called what? Reactant. Starting material used in any chemical reaction, they are called reactant. For example, if your mom is preparing a paneer tikka masala, what are the reactants? Paneer, right? Then oil, then butter, then milk, then capsicum, then ginger, garlic, then capsicum, little bit, tomato, then bay leaves, coriander leaves, spices, salt, water. Okay, so all these are the ingredient, nothing but reactants, nothing but reactants, correct? So the excess is starting material for the reaction. So starting material or starting or raw materials, raw materials used in any chemical reaction are called reactants. Just now we seen reaction between carbon and oxygen forming carbon dioxide. So carbon and oxygen they act as reactant. Now what is product? A newly formed substance by combination of by combination of reactants reactants with each other are called products. Are called what? Products. Right. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
In above reaction, CO2, it acts as a product. Now, characteristics of chemical reaction. Next part is characteristic of chemical reaction. You know, chemical reaction is characterized by either change in state, that is change in physical state, that is solid to liquid, solid to gas, likewise, or change in change in color, or evolution of evolution of gas. There may be oxygen, CO2, SO2, H2S gas maybe, or HCl gas may be evolved. Then change in temperature. That is, temperature may goes on increasing or it may goes on decreasing, right? Or formation of a precipitate, formation of precipitate means formation of solid matter. For example, when our milk is converted into curd, it gets precipitated. When our egg is boiled, it gets precipitated, right? Then writing a chemical equation, already I told you. What is chemical equation? Simple representation of reaction using symbols and formulas of the compound, that is called chemical equation. The next, balanced chemical equation, right? Now it is balanced chemical equation. What is balanced chemical equation? And as per law of conservation of mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be only converted from one form into another form, right? Law of conservation of mass. Conservation of mass. Okay. What is law of conservation of mass? Mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be only converted from mass can neither be created nor be destroyed destroyed. It can be only converted. It can be only converted from one form into another form. Okay, for example, same example we'll take C plus O2 is what? CO2. Now, carbon present in the form of a coke that will convert into CO2, that will convert into CO2. So, mass of carbon remains the same. Mass of carbon remains the same. That is 12 into 1 plus oxygen is 16 into 2. That is equal to carbon 12 into 1 plus 16 into 2. So 12 ones are 12 plus 32. 12 plus 32. So 44 corresponds to 44. Right. So mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be only converted from one form into another form. Okay. Or total mass of reactant. Total mass of reactant is how much? 44. Total mass of product is again 44. So total mass of reactant is equal to total mass of product. Total mass of product in any chemical reaction. That is called what? Law of conservation of mass. So balancing of chemical equation, it is completely based on law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass. Now, next part is types of reactions. Types of chemical reactions. Types of reactions. There are 5 different types of reactions. First, addition or combination reaction. First one is addition or combination reaction. Notice addition combination reaction. When two reactants react with each other, forming a single product, that is called addition or combination reaction. When two reactants react with each other, forming a single product is called an addition or combination reaction. Addition or combination reaction. For example, H2 combined with Cl2 forming twice HCl. So two reactant, hydrogen and chlorine, they combines together and they gives a single product, and that is called what? Addition or combination reaction. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Another example, burning of coal. Coal combined with oxygen forming what? CO2. Okay. Then next example, burning of natural gas. Natural gas consists methane as one of the constituent. Already I told this, whatever may be the number of carbon, that much of CO2 is formed. And whatever may be the amount of hydrogen divided by 2, nothing but 2 water molecule, right? So 2 plus 2, 4 oxygen at left hand side, only 2 oxygen at, 4 oxygen at right hand side, only 2 oxygen at left hand side. So This is multiplied by 2. The next one is second one. Decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction. This is opposite to addition or combination reaction. That is, single reactant gives two or more different products on heating or on exposure to light or on electrolysis, right? A reaction in which single reactant is converted to one or more one or more converted to two or more, you can say, converted to two or more products is called decomposition reaction. Now decomposition takes place by heat, light, or by electrolysis, right? Now decomposition reaction, there are three types. First, thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition. Thermal means heat. That is, decomposition takes place by heat. Decomposition takes place by heat. Decomposition takes place by heat. That is called what? Thermal decomposition. Okay, for example, calcium carbonate, nothing but limestone. When it heated, we'll get calcium oxide plus CO2, that is quick lime. Quick lime. Okay. Then second, there are plenty of examples, but this is one of the example. Electrolytic decomposition. Electrolytic decomposition. Second, electrolytic decomposition. Decomposition takes place using an electricity. Decomposition takes place using an electricity is called electrolytic decomposition. Decomposition. Best example, twice H2O on electrolysis gives twice H2 gas plus O2 gas. Twice H2 gas plus O2 gas. Okay. The next one is, there are so many examples. Electrolysis of sodium chloride gives Na and Cl2. Then decomposition. Third one is photo decomposition. Decomposition of reaction using light. Decomposition of reaction using light. That is called what? Photo decomposition. Okay. Best example is twice ACBR light will get twice AC plus BR2. BR2. Okay. So this takes place in presence of light, and that's why it is called photo decomposition. The next, displacement, third main type of reaction. Displacement reaction. Displacement reaction. Now, what is displacement reaction? Uh, you know, suppose in your house chairs are arranged in a linear way, that is in a straight chain. What will happen? That is, in the morning, if some guests are arrived, they will sit or they will occupy that chair. Then, after lunch, breakfast, or after talking something, those guests will go again. Again, in the evening, new guest will arrive and they'll sit on the same chair. Means what? Old guest is replaced by new guest. Hence, replacement of one atom by another atom. That is called what? Displacement reaction. In other words, more reactive element displaces less reactive element from its compound, and that is called what? Displacement reaction. A more reactive element displaces less reactive less reactive elements. That is known as displacement reaction. Best example is Fe combined with copper sulfide forming FeSO4 plus Cu, that is copper. So this is iron, this is copper sulfate. This is iron sulfate. Sulfate. This is copper. So in this reaction, you can see that is iron displaces copper from its salt solution. From its salt solution. So a more reactive element displaces less reactive element from its salt solution. Its salt solution. Okay, is there any doubt? And such a reaction is called what? Displacement reaction. Another example is zinc plus copper sulfate gives ZnSO4 plus Cu. The next one is double displacement reaction. Fourth, double displacement reaction. Now, what is double displacement reaction? Reaction in which two compounds react by an exchange of ions to form new compound, that is called what? Double displacement reaction. That is called what? Double displacement reaction. Reaction in which two compounds react by an exchange of ions to form two compound, that is called what? Double displacement reaction. A reaction in which two compounds react by an exchange of ions, by an exchange of ions to form two new compounds is called double displacement reaction. Double displacement reaction. So reaction means two compounds react by an exchange of ions to form two new compounds. That is called double displacement reaction, or a reaction in which there is exchange of two ions takes place. Two ions takes place is called double displacement reaction. Double displacement reaction. For example, HCl, hydrochloric acid, when air combined with sodium hydroxide, what will get? Na combined with Cl, NaCl, that is, you'll get salt plus H combined with OH, water. So this is hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid, hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid, hydrochloric acid. This is sodium hydroxide. Okay. So chlorine is exchanged with Na, OH is exchanged with hydrogen. So there is exchange of two ion, chloride ion and hydroxide ion. And that's why it is called double displacement reaction. Then fifth kind of reaction, that is called redox reaction. Redox reaction or oxidation reduction reaction. Oxidation reduction reaction. Oxidation reduction reaction. Now, what is redox reaction? Reaction which involve oxidation and reduction simultaneously or at once. That is called redox reaction. So, reaction in which oxidation and reduction takes place at once or simultaneously. That is called what? Redox reaction. Simultaneously, that is called what? Redox reaction. Best example, Zn plus Cu2 plus gives Zn2 plus Cu. Means what? In this case, zinc undergo oxidation, copper undergo reduction. And since this reaction involve simultaneous oxidation and reduction, it is called redox reaction. It is called redox reaction. Now, What is oxidation? Oxidation is a process that involves addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. It involves addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen, removal of hydrogen. It involves addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Okay. Now, for example, sulfur combined with oxygen forming sulfur dioxide gas. So it involves addition of oxygen. It involves addition of oxygen. Okay. The next, reduction. Reduction is a process that involves addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. For example, you know, CH3, C double bond OH, right? Whenever hydrogen is added, originated from zinc amalgam and concentrated HCl, it get CH3. Means hydrogen is added and oxygen is removed. So this is called what? Ethane. This is ethanol aldehyde, nol, or acetaldehyde. Okay. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No.
सर
Very good. Very good.
सर
Yes.
सर आप अर्जुन जोशी को मीटिंग में एडमिट कर सकते हैं क्या? वो लीव हो गए हैं।
अरे लेकिन वो ज्वाइन हो नहीं दिखा रही ज्वाइनिंग में। एडमिट ऑल किया है ऑलरेडी मैंने। हो गए क्या देखो। ज्वाइन
हो गया।
हो गया।
हाँ सर।
Okay. Okay. Now, next part is
130.
oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent or oxidant or oxidant. Notice oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent, it is a substance which itself undergo reduction and forces another substance to undergo oxidation. Now, in spelling of oxidizing agent, instead of Z, there may be S. Both are correct. Both are correct. समझे क्या बच्चे लोग? Oxidizing
Yes.
Yes, sir.
OXIDIZ or OXIDIS. So, substance which itself undergo oxidation and reduction and forces another substance to undergo oxidation, that is called oxidizing agent. Substance which itself undergo reduction and forces another substance to undergo oxidation is known as an oxidizing agent. Best example of oxidizing agent includes O2, O3, O2, O3, SO2, SO3, potassium permanganate. Okay, then potassium dichromate in dilute H2SO4, etc. The next, reducing agent or reductant. Now, what is reducing agent or reductant? Reducing agent or reductant is a substance which itself undergo oxidation and forces another substance to undergo reduction. Reducing agent is a substance which itself undergo oxidation and forces another substance to undergo reduction is designated as designated means is called as designated as reducing agent. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. Then next, examples of reducing agent: hydrogen in presence of platinum, palladium, or nickel. Okay, this is one of the example. Second, sodium borohydride. Third, lithium aluminum hydride. So all these are the examples. All these are the examples. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. The next, rancidity. Rancidity. What is rancidity? You know, the condition produced by aerial oxidation of fats and oil in food that gives unpleasant smell and taste. That is called what? Rancidity. Rancidity. Right. So,
Sir, it is oxidation, no?
correct,
Oxidation of
correct,
fats.
correct. Oxidation only. And that's why, Haldiram packets, Balaji food packets, they are coming with by flushing nitrogen in there. So that food does not combine with oxygen from the air and it does not undergo deterioration. That is, it doesn't get spoiled, right? So,
Yes.
so what is rancidity? The condition produced by aerial oxidation. Aerial oxidation is same as that of what? Roasting. Aerial oxidation of fats and oil, of fats and oil in food, in food, marked by, marked by unpleasant smell and taste. Unpleasant smell and taste is called rancidity. Is called rancidity. Is called rancidity. What it is called? Rancidity. Now, prevention of rancidity. Prevention of rancidity. Rancidity, it can be prevented by adding antioxidant, by adding antioxidants. Second, it can be prevented. Best antioxidant, I'll tell you, BHA means butylated hydroxyanisole. Butylated hydroxyanisole. And second one is BHT. Second, BHT, butylated hydroxytoluene. Butylated butylated hydroxytoluene. Butylated hydroxytoluene. ठीक है. Then next, by storing food in air, by storing food in airtight container, then by flushing nitrogen, by flushing nitrogen, the next, by keeping the food in refrigerator, that is at very low temperature, by keeping food in refrigerator, okay, by keeping food in refrigerator.
Sir, vitamin E, vitamin C.
What?
Sir, these are natural.
Yes, natural. Okay. Is there any doubt to anybody? Is there any doubt?
No.
No, sir.
The next and last part from the chapter, balancing of chemical equations. Balancing of chemical equations, right? Let's consider example, that is SO2 plus O2 is what? SO3 gas, right? So, sulfur 1, 1, so it is balanced. Oxygen here 4, there is 3. So they are not balanced, right? So if we do 4 oxygen, 4 plus 2, 6, again it is not balanced, right? Sulfur here 2, here 1, right? Then oxygen 2 twos are 4 plus 2, 6 on left hand side and 3 on right hand side. So multiply this by 2, we'll get 2 sulfur and 6 oxygen, right? You have to balance the number of atoms of reactant equal to number of atoms of product. Okay, you have to balance in such a way that number of atoms of reactant must be equal to number of atoms of product. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Can we balance this? N2 plus H2 gives NH3. Try to balance it.
Sir, N2 plus 3
Plus 3H2.
2 NH3.
Correct. यहाँ पे N2 they are present at left hand side only 2, but right hand side only 1. So multiply right hand side by 2. So 2 nitrogen balance. 2 threes are 6 hydrogen. So here 2 hydrogen only. So multiply this by 3. Is there any doubt?
No.
No.
Okay. Then mm, phosphorus plus chlorine gives PCl3. Balance it.
3
3 Cl2,
3Cl2
6 हो
and
गए.
2 PCl3 and
And then
2P.
write 2p. Correct. Correct. Is there any doubt to anybody?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
So this is what the end of this chapter. Now we'll begin with a chapter from biology, that is genetics. That is genetics. A new chapter from bio, nothing but genetics. Nothing but what? Genetics. Right. Genetics. So, is there any doubt in this chemistry chapter to anybody? Yes?
No.
No doubt at all? Okay. The next chapter is genetics. 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 Next chapter is genetics. What is genetics? Genetics is a branch of biology that concerns with study of inheritance, including the interplay of genes, DNA variation, their interaction with the environmental factor. So, what is genetics? The branch of biology, the branch of biology that deals with study of that deals with study of inheritance, study of inheritance, including the interplay of genes, the interplay of gene, comma, DNA variation, and their interaction with environmental factors. Their interaction with environmental factors. Environmental factors. And that is called what? Genetics. That is called what? Genetics. Right. Now, now, what is inheritance? Right or not? Inheritance deals with genetics and involves passing of genetic traits or genetic characters from parents to their offspring. From parents to their offspring. From parents to their offspring. Right. So, inheritance So passing of a traits or information from parents to offspring, that is called what? Inheritance. That is called what? Inheritance. So, what is inheritance? Passing genetic traits, genetic traits, that is characteristics from parents to their offspring, parents to their offspring is called inheritance. Is called what? Inheritance. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No.
So, what is heredity? Transfer of genetic characteristics from parents to their offspring. That is called what? Heredity. What it is? Heredity, right? Now, what is genetics from this? Genetics, it is a branch of biology, say, branch of biology that deals with study of heredity and variation. That deals with study of heredity and variation. Study of heredity and variation. What is heredity? Transfer of characteristics from parents to their offspring. That is called heredity. Right? What it is called? Heredity. Now, you know, earlier there was a good variety of cows, buffaloes, okay. But nowadays there are different varieties. And these different varieties, they are known as hybrid varieties. What they are called? Hybrid varieties. Now, what is mean by hybrid? Hybrid, whatever we are eating grains, they are all hybrid, right? So plant and animal produced by parents that have different heredity characteristics is called hybrid plant or animal. A plant or animal produced by parents, produced by parent that have different heredity characteristics, different heredity characteristic is called hybrid plant or animal. Hybrid plant or animal. Hybrid plant or animal hybrid plant or animal, and that is called what? Hybrid. Now, scientist Mendel work on heredity. Okay. Scientist Gregor Mendel. Gregor Mendel's work on heredity. Gregor Mendel was a first scientist to study the pattern of inheritance. And he did this by using different varieties of pea plant. Scientific name of pea plant is pea plant. What is scientific name? Pisum sativa. Pisum is genus name. Pisum sativum. Sativum. Genus first letter is capital. Species first letter is small. So Pisum sativum, which he grew this pea plant in a garden. Mendel chose pea plant for studying inheritance because pea plant had a certain clear-cut differences to identify them. For example, some pea plant, they are tall while some are dwarf. Some are dwarf. Why Mendel selected pea plant only? Why Mendel selected pea plant for his experiment? Because some are tall and some are dwarf. Some are dwarf. Means tall means very heighted. Dwarf means stunted growth. That is small growth. Some pea plants, they produce round yellow seeds, while other produce wrinkled green seeds. So, color of seeds. Color of seeds. Okay. Then, next, he found life cycle of pea plant is very short. Life cycle of pea plant it's short. Then pea plant produce a large number of seeds. Pea plant produces a large number of seeds. Then pea plant undergoes self-pollination undergo self-pollination. Okay. Now, Mendel performed this experiment in three stages. First, selection of a pure breeding parents. Selection of a pure breeding parents. Pure breeding parents. Then second, hybridization and obtaining first F1 generation. Then next, cell pollination of hybrid to get generation like F2 and F3. And last, selection of parents. Last stage is selection of parents. Now, a pure breeding variety produces offspring having similar characteristics. For example, white flower plant produces white flower offspring. White flower plant produces
Hello,
white flower
sir.
offspring.
Sir, a
And
boy wants to join the class. He is coming from second account.
pardon,
Anshu. A boy
As
named Anshul wants to join the class. He is coming from second account.
second account.
Account, first account, it is not, he is not able to share you.
Okay, okay. Tell him to join. I'll admit it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mendel selected a 14 pure breeding variety of peas as the material for his experiment. As the material for his experiment. The pure breeding nature of each variety was ensured through self-pollination. Through what? Self-pollination. He eliminated the plants which did not form similar offspring. He did not consider the plant which do not form similar offspring. Similar offspring. Okay. Similar offspring. The true breeding plants form the parent generation. Now, Mendel employed 7 characteristics with easily distinguishable contrasting form. The characteristics are generally seed color, seed shape, flower color, pod shape, flower position, then plant height, etc. So, 7 characters. Mendel selected 7 characters. 7 characters. What are those? First one is seed color. Second one is seed shape. Then third one is flower color. The next pod color. The next pod shape. Next flower position. Flower position. And the last one is plant height. Last one is what? Plant height. Okay. So these are the 7 characteristics Mendel selected for his experiment. Right. Now, there are different parameters like length of a stem, tall or dark, position of flower, axial or terminal, nature of pod, inflated or constricted, color of unripened pod, green or yellow, green or yellow, green or yellow. Then color of seed coat, gray or white, nature of seed coat, round and wrinkled, then color of flower, purple and white, etc., etc. Then hybridization, second step. First step was deciding characters, and second step is hybridization and obtaining first generation. Hybridization and obtaining first generation. Hybridization and obtaining first generation. So Mendel selected true breeding tall for them. He represented as TT and Dorf represented as small TT, tall capital TT, then dwarf small TT, small tt, okay, pea plants. Pea plants. The seed form after fertilization they were grown, and these plants that were formed represent the first filial generation or F1 generation. All F1 plants obtained they were tall. Obtained they were tall. So what he did is TT crossed with small tt. Small tt. So he made a cross of tall versus dwarf. Tall versus dwarf. What he found? That is, if we put TT over here, right? And small t, right? Then capital T, small t, tall plant. Then capital T, small t, again, tall plant, right? Then capital T, small t, again, tall plant. Capital T, small t, tall plant, tall plant. So we found that all F1 generations, they are tall. All F1 generations are tall, right? Then, what is Mendel's observation? So, genotype is the description of gene that present in an organism. Okay, so this is what genotype, that is TT for tall, then capital T, small t for again tall, then small t for dwarf. So phenotype is a characteristics which is visible in an organism. For example, tall or dwarf, their phenotype. What is Mendel's observations? Mendel's observation. The F1 hybrid always showed one of the parental form of the trait, right? Then both parental forms of trait appeared without any change in the F2 generation. Okay. Then the form of trait that appeared in the F2 hybrid is called dominant, and it appeared in the F2 generation as it is alternative recessive form, right? Then, on the basis of experiment, Mendel postulated three laws known as Mendel's law of heredity. First one is law of dominance. Law of dominance. What is law of dominance? So this is based on monohybrid cross. Monohybrid cross. Whenever cross is made between two homozygous, that is pure line individual, considering contrasting allele of same characters, then allele that appears in F1 hybrid is called dominant, and the others they are called recessive. Recessive. Okay. This is small t आएगा, then recessive. Then capital TT dominant. Capital T small t again dominant. Okay. So when a cross is made, when a cross is made between two homozygous. Homozygous means pure line. Homo means same. Homozygous. Zygous. Pure line. Individuals. Individuals. Considering contrasting allele allele means genes. Contrasting allele of same characters, then the allele that appears in F1 hybrid is called dominant. Then the allele that appears in F1 hybrid is called dominant, and other is called recessive. Other is called, array, what is going on? Recessive. Students, don't make noise. Recessive means inert. Recessive means inert. Okay. Recessive means inert, and dominant means more active. Dominant means more active. Right. For example, whenever round yellow green, round green, R, small y. So R stands for round, small y green, is crossed with small r, nothing but white, or wrinkled,
Agora.
wrinkled yellow. Okay. Whenever this cross is made, what will happen? You know, it will separate as capital R, small y. This will come as what? Small r, capital Y. Now, whenever you cross this, what will you get? You'll get capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Okay. That is round yellow. Round yellow. Okay. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Now, monohybrid cross. Monohybrid cross. Hybrid cross. Notice monohybrid cross. Cross involve or cross between two parents that differ only in one heritable character. For example, tallness or darkness. Okay. So cross between two parents. Cross between two parents that differ only in one heritable character, one heritable character character is called monohybrid cross. Monohybrid cross. Okay. So cross that involve that is made by considering only one genetic character like tallness, color of seeds, color of flower, okay, etc. That is called what? Monohybrid cross. Okay. Example, tallness and dwarfness. Tallness and dwarfness. Dwarfness. Okay. The next one is dihybrid cross. Di means what? What is in by di?
Two.
Two. Cross between two parents. Two parents that differ. That differ in two heritable character. In two heritable characters. Characters. For example, round yellow seeds. Round yellow seeds and wrinkled green seeds. Wrinkled green seeds. Wrinkled green seeds. Okay. Wrinkled green seeds, etc. Now, Mendel's second law is called law of segregation or law of purity of gamete. Law of segregation or law of purity of gametes. Purity of gametes. Now, according to this law, in F1 hybrid, the dominant and recessive character remains together for a long time, but they do not mix with each other and separate or segregate at the time of gamete formation. Means, what is law of segregation or law of purity of gametes? In F1 hybrid, the dominant and recessive characters, they remains together for a longer time, but they do not mix with each other and separate or segregate at the time of gamete formation. So what is this statement? In F1 hybrid, in F1 hybrid, dominant and recessive characters remains together, remains together for a longer time, and do not mix with each other and do not mix with each other and separate or segregate segregate at the time of gamete formation at the time of gamete formation. So, what is law of segregation? In F1 hybrid, dominant and recessive character, they remains together for a longer period and do not mix with each other and separate or segregate at the time of gamete formation. Thus, the gamete form recessive gamete form receives either dominant or recessive characteristics, and this law is called what? Law of purity of gametes. That is, gamete when form is always pure for a particular trait. Okay. And it is just because the fact that they always contain the factors which determines a single trait pertaining to a particular characters. Then third law is law of independent assortment. Law of independent assortment. Law of independent assortment. Now, in dihybrid cross, the phenotype observed were round yellow, wrinkled yellow, round green, and wrinkled green, and appeared in the ratio of 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. And such a ratio observed for several traits, and that is called what? Law of independent dominant. So, what Mendel did, Mendel crossed a round green seeds, just already we did here, round green seeds with wrinkled yellow, having wrinkled yellow seeds, that is a RRYY. Since in F1 plant, they are formed after crossing P plants having green round shaped seeds and P plants having yellow wrinkled seeds. F1 generation will have both these characteristics in them. However, as we know that yellow seed color and round shape of seeds are dominant characteristics, And that's why F1 plant will have yellow round seeds. So, what is law of independent assortment? In dihybrid cross, in dihybrid cross, phenotype observed were round yellow, round yellow, wrinkled yellow, wrinkled yellow, then round green and wrinkled green, in the ratio of 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. Means what? Round yellow, 9 part. Wrinkled yellow, 3 parts. Round green, 3 parts. And wrinkled green, 1 part. Likewise. The next part, chromosome. Now, what are chromosomes? Now, chromosomes, they are basically a thread-like bodies found in the nucleus of a cell. And in human being, there are total 46 chromosomes. Chromosomes. They are thread-like bodies. Thread-like bodies found in the nucleus of a cell, found nucleus of a cell, okay, in humans, in human body, there are 23 pairs of chromosome, 23 pairs, that is 46 chromosomes are present. 46 chromosomes are present. Okay. Now, nucleic acid, there are of two types, DNA and RNA. Nucleic acids are of two types. Two types. That is DNA and second one is RNA. Anybody knows full form of DNA and RNA?
Deoxyribonucleic
Ribo,
Ribonucleic acid.
Correct. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA stands for ribonucleic acid. Okay. Is there any doubt?
No.
DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA stands for ribonucleic acid. Ribonucleic acid. Okay. Is there any doubt? So DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, RNA, ribonucleic acid. So DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid and RNA stands for ribonucleic acid. So they plays an important role in heredity or in inheritance. Generally, they are having certain pairs of a purines and pyrimidines. In DNA, there is AZCT, AZCT, that is adenine, then guanine, then cytosine, and thiamine. Thiamine. Okay. In thiamine. Now, in RNA, purines and pyrimidines, they are present as ACCU. That is adenine, guanine, uracil, cytosine is there. Along with that, uracil is there. Adenine, guanine, then cytosine, and uracil is there. So these are the bases. They are held together by hydrogen bonds. They are held together by hydrogen bonds. Okay. Now, what is reproduction? What is reproduction? Process of creating a new life, that is called what? Reproduction. Process of creating a new life, that is called reproduction, or producing an individual of same kind, okay, or producing organism of same kind, okay, producing organism of same kind to that of parent is called reproduction. Reproduction. And that's why generally, kids, they are not different than their parents. Kids, they are similar to their parents. They are similar to their parents, right? Is there any doubt? Already I told that is human being have 23 pairs of chromosomes, nothing but 46. Nothing but 46. Now, how reproduction takes place? Reproduction takes place. Of course, sexual reproduction. A sperm from father, okay, containing 23 pairs of chromosomes, or 23 chromosome only. Then ovum from mother, ovum from mother. Okay, there is a cross between them. Then this 23 gets fertilized with this, and this is called fertilization. Fertilization. That is sperm from father, okay, fertiles with ovum from mother to produce zygote. That is called what? Fertilization. So this what? Fertilization. Digestion. Then fertilized eggs develop into zygote. Zygote. Fertilize into zygote. Zygote, and that consists of 46 pairs. Then there is a formation of embryo takes place. This is what embryo. Okay. So 46, 46, 46, 46, 46. Okay. So they are having 46 chromosomes. Now, how generally, whenever uh, sex determination, next part is, before that, human blood group will see, human blood group, human blood group, right? Blood group character is controlled by a set of three alleles, IA, IB, I. Genes IA and IB both are dominant, over the gene IO or I, but not over each other. For there are different types of blood group. Blood group B, genotype would be IB. Then blood group AB, then blood group O. So blood group O is universal donor, right? Then AB is there, then B is there, right? Now, next part is sex determination, whether it is a girl or boy. It is done. Mother is what? X, X. Then father is what? X, Y. Right. Whenever they are crossed with each other, what will get? XX, nothing but will get girl, child. Then XX again, X from father, X from mother. Combines together, you'll get girl, child. Similarly, X from father, X from girl, will get a girl child. Okay. Or you can say daughter. You get what? Daughter. This is also daughter. But when Y from father combines with X, we'll get XY, that is son. Again, Y from this, you get XY, son. So, mother provides only X chromosome. So, sex of baby, it is determined by the type of male gamete, that is father, that fuses with the X chromosome of the female. So, father plays an important role in deciding the sex of his child or offspring. Right. So, father determines the sex of child as a male or female, and not mother, since father is having XY chromosome and mothers have only XX chromosome. XX chromosome XX chromosome. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, next part, genetic disorder.
Hey, stop. You stupid nigger. Thank you, bruh.
आज क्यों ऐसा बोल रहे?
क्या?
बच्चे ना आवाज कर रहे हैं आज कुछ कुछ.
कौन बच्चा आवाज कर रहा है?
कैसे पता चलता है सर आवाज कौन कर रहा है?
ये ग्रीन वाला जो है,
हाँ?
ये क्या हुआ?
3 डॉट्स वाला।
ग्रीन डॉट्स, ये इससे शेयर कीजिए कीजिए ना, देखें। जूम में जाइए, इधर देखिए, शेयर कीजिए, स्क्रीन पर दीजिए।
नहीं, अभी शेयर ही था लेकिन अभी अभी चला गया था। उस दिन जैसे आया था कुछ।
क्या हो रहा है?
1 minute स्टूडेंट्स।
रिकॉर्डिंग
सर
सर।
सत्यज।
मुझे ना शेयर। लो बच्चों, आवाज मत करो। कौन आवाज कर रहा है? ये भी
सर सत्यज।
कौन? सत्तेश?
सत्य।
उसको नहीं
तो
करती।
सत्य तो है ही नहीं यहाँ पे मीटिंग में।
नहीं 3 डॉट्स है ना, वो सत्यज है।
अच्छा बेटा,
हाँ,
मत
वही
करो
हुआ।
सब लोग, ठीक है? अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो। चलो सर, विल कंटिन्यू नाउ।
सर उसने लीव कर दिया।
कोई बात नहीं।
ओके, सो next part is genetic disorders. Genetic disorders. सर ये थोड़ा ना लाइट हो गया। 1 minute स्टूडेंट्स।
अभी लिखिए।
Genetic disorders. First one is hemophilia. Hemophilia. First one is hemophilia. Now it is a sex link, recessive diseases. Sex link recessive disease. Sex link recessive disease. It transmit from unaffected carrier female to some of the male progeny. It transmits from unaffected carrier female, unaffected carrier female to some of male progeny, some of male progeny, some of male progeny. ठीक है? Is there any doubt?
नो सर।
Okay.
हाँ सर।
Then, second, sickle cell anemia. Second kind of disease called sickle cell anemia. Okay. So this is autosome link recessive trait that can be transmitted from parents to the offspring when both the parents are carrier for the gene. Okay. So this is autosome link recessive trait recessive trait that can be transmitted, that can be that can be transmitted from parents to offspring. Offspring means children's. Parents to offspring. When both the partners, when both the partners are carrier for the gene, are carrier for the gene. Okay. Now, so this is the end of, you can say, genetics. We'll begin with a third chapter from chemistry now. Right. Still 7 minutes are there, so we can do lot of things. Right. So next chapter from chemistry will begin. Which chapter you want to start? So next chapter from chemistry. Just 1 minute, I'll check the syllabus. Periodic table is finished, carbon compound finished, acid basis salt finished, atomic structure finished, metal non-metal finished, chemical reaction finished, then matter in our surrounding finished. We'll begin with chemistry in everyday life. Chemistry in everyday life. Chemistry in everyday life. Okay. Now, you know, it consists of a polymers, plastic, resins, oils, fats, vitamins, hormones, amino acids, peptides, then proteins, etc. etc. Now, what are polymers? Poly means many, and mers means parts or unit. Actually, it is meros. So meros means parts or units. So polymer is a macromolecule. Macromolecule. Macro means very large. Macro means very large. Right? So polymer is a macromolecule consisting, you can say, having high molecular weight. Polymer is macromolecule having high molecular weight consisting of many repeating units of monomer, units of monomer join to one another by a covalent bond. Covalent bond, and that is called what? Polymer. That is called what? Polymer. There are variety of polymers. There is addition polymers and condensation polymers. Right? So example of polymer includes polyethylene, polypropylene, PVC, polyvinyl chloride, right? Then rubber, etc. etc. P indicates what? Polyethylene. PP indicates what? Polypropylene. PVC indicates what? Polyvinyl chloride. And rubber, okay, rubber, etc. etc. Now, polymers, they are of addition type or condensation types. So generally, addition type of polymers, they are having high molecular weight. Condensation polymers, they are having less molecular weight. Condensation means the polymers, they leads to the removal of water molecule or ethylene glycol molecule. Say part of molecule or molecule is removed in condensation polymers. Part of molecule is removed. Part of molecule or molecule is removed in condensation polymers. That is called what? Polymer, right? Then a resin. What is resin now? Highly cross-linked polymer. Highly cross-linked polymer. That is called what? Resin. For example, in house, carpet is purchased. So that carpet is nothing but resin. Highly cross-linked polymer having many functional groups in it. Many functional groups in it. Groups in it is called resin. Is called what? Resin. Is there any doubt to anybody?
No, sir.
No.
Okay, okay. Now plastic, it is also a polymer of low or high molecular weight. Low or high molecular weight. Plastic is also a polymer of low or high molecular weight. Low or high molecular weight. Okay. So that is called what? Plastics. Rest of the part we'll do it tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow same timing, 1 to 3. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.